Hello guys, how are you all doing? Blue Codge here, and today I'm going to be doing a video on my Nespresso Magi Mix coffee machine. It's a plastic finish. Magi Mix is also a part of the coffee maker I have beside me. I don't know if it's in the image or not. Yes it is. And that is my Dolce Gusto. Now, I'm going to be doing a little demonstration on this. I haven't done one on the side of me, but I may do that one soon because that one will be going. It still works and everything. It still does, the things like the coffee machine should do. But this is my latest one, and this one is a little bit special though, because this one comes with the milk frother. Oh shit, it's actually powered on now. Sorry for the swearing, I didn't think it was actually going to turn on by its own. But there must have been a bit of power or something still left in the resistors, but yeah, it still works. Okay, but either way, to get started or to heat the machine up before you put a pod in, you just got to click any button and they'll flash, and then when it goes solid, that means then it's heated up and you're ready to go. First thing and more in doubt though to do is to, of course, fill up your water container. Now you can just use any regular water. I use the built-in filtered water into the fridge because they do recommend that sort of on some people. Some people definitely recommend that if you've got one, just because then you don't have to clean the system out or just run it through by its own to get some of the stuff that's water that's sitting out. They say filter thing gives you less time with cleaning and it's a little bit easier to do. Now I've got pods. Now this is more for UK people only, or people that have access to Aldi, I don't know, stores, because we can get budget ones over here. Here, like this caramello one, Ristro. I can't pronounce off these because they're like funny brands, but either way, there's them. And also apart from that, because we haven't actually got this machine because we're a £75 club card thing, is we've actually got a genuine starter kit espresso pack. Now the things with these pods is there's a bit of a difference in between them, mostly because the proper Nespresso ones are made of a like aluminium foil type, and these are the ones that you get in these packs. This is not the exact one I'm going to make, but they're the same shape, but they're plastic. So I don't know what the difference are in between those, but they still taste fine and everything else, and they're still pretty good. And some of these are actually, some of them are often a little bit better than these. Well, depending on some of them. These are just the range I've got in mind. But today we're going to be making the caramello one for me, and also be using the milk frother beside it. So I'm just going to quickly grab some milk, as we need milk for the milk frother. So I'm actually going to bring you in a little bit as a part of everything. Sorry for the slight shakiness there. And there we go. So you can see all the stuff happening down there, because it does help, we'll put it that way. So yeah, there we go, there's the coffees. And also, one thing I forgot to mention is, it also comes with some instruction manuals, and also a part with the machine as well. It comes with a menu to show, all the different brands of coffee you can buy, and best ways beside it, and just little things like that really. But either way, to the milk frother. Now inside, some of them, if you get a more expensive machine, they'll have different kind of whisks, but it's just got a little hole at the bottom where you just stick that on. It's magnetic as well, so you can just sort of let it go on the spot there, and it's got little measurements that your camera sort of can pick up. So I'm just going to fill it to the min line. It is the only design fault I sort of find with these is it's painted a part of it, so if it's slightly dark or there's a shadow, you can't really see how far you're filling it up. So that's the only thing I can sort of complain about on this particular model. Now, if you put this milk froth on to begin with, because this often takes a little bit longer to froth up than actually making the whole coffee, so I'll just put that on, and then when you want it to go, you just press it on, and it'll start mixing it, and it'll turn off automatically when it's finished. Of course, you can turn it off manually if you want it, if you don't want to whisk it up to the full time as this thing will, but it also heats it up. If you hold it down for 2 seconds, then it'll just whisk it up and it'll be a cold type. But to get started, all I need to do is bring this up and drop it in a pod, and after I've got a cup, because I don't actually have one on me. Oh dear, come on. In the kitchen here, proper quality, you know, have to sort everything out yourself. This is the best one though, I think, more than the shorter one there back down here, but the advantage with this tall one is you can get a full large cup underneath. It is pretty good. So, as said, all you need to do is just get your desired pod. I'm going for the Aldi, whatever brand caramel ones, and all I need to do is, this is basically the pod, all I need to do is just drop it in and push down this handle, and it makes a solid click there. And all I need to do then is, and it tells you which ones you need. Some of them you'll be able to use a full copy, or you need an espresso, but this one requires an espresso, and then you just dump the froth cream on top. So I'll just need to click that. Some of it may take a few seconds to squirt through, depending. As you can see though, it's doing its job just fine. You can also program these to these individual buttons to how much coffee you actually want in it versus others. As this, you see this one just doing just fine. I'm actually gonna slightly hold this one for a little bit longer, just because the water slightly got in a little bit before. So I think I might add just a little bit more. Oh, I don't think I'll bother, just for the demonstration of this video. But when you finish though, what I recommend people just take it away and put your froth milk, as you can tell the red light's gone off. That means then it's frothed and it's ready to be used. And you can also tell because of the steam if you're having the milk hot frothed. But basically though, when you finish, just let it drop and it'll drop to the bottom in its little compartment. It is, as you can tell, pretty handy. So of course, when you finish, you just take that away, and then you get your froth coffee. As you can tell, when it's done, it steams up the top. Now, this is when it comes into play. You often want to give it take the lid off, or let some of the steam come out, and then you get that nice frothiness. Hopefully the camera can pick that up, just because it's very light in here though. It's kind of slightly struggling, as it's sadly being a 720p camera. But as it's quite hard like this, you want to give it a bit of movement around, otherwise you'll just have a big plop in the middle. So try not to spill it everywhere, but you just want to give it a bit of a slop around, because otherwise it'll be one big gulp with a load of just normal milk. So give it a bit of action, so it's not comes out as a big lump. You can just do it like this, but it's a little bit harder without spilling it all over the place. So it's just easier to do this. It doesn't hurt the machine because it's got nice big feet, but people often put it in jugs, so it is a little bit easier, but you can just do it this way. And then when it's good, what I do in this case, what I do is I dump it fast in straight away, and that means then you don't have to stir it, but it makes an even thing. So I'm just going to dump that in pretty quickly. As you can tell, some of the cream leaves at the bottom, but that is actually a pretty good mix. And also, if you chuck it in, you don't actually have to stir it in. Also, the caramel as well, because you're splashing it up, it actually mixes with the cream as well. It makes it quite delightful. The camera is slightly struggling for some reason, but either way, that's how you do it. You just rinse that out. You don't often need to clean it. One thing that it says is don't actually wash the whole thing and put it underneath water, so you'll damage the electronics in it. But apart from that though, that's this. Just clean the lid and stuff, and that's all the maintenance you need to do. Just give it a rinse and do that. You can physically wash it inside if you want, but all you need to do is give it a rinse and a wipe, and you can use it again. And apart from that though, all you need to do apart from that is just enjoy your coffee. And one thing I say that goes very well with these coffees, especially the brand I'm using, is it's not a thing to this video, but I think it really does add that little extra something, is get a box of Lindors. Now this is quite a big box, this was £10, but it does make, when you add it with your coffee and Lindors, sometimes depending what you have, it can be a nice combination, but depending otherwise though, the main thing though is on this coffee machine. But either way, make some nice coffees, even with just third party brands like this, it still does a good job on the machine itself, and I'm very proud with it. Even when this thing was £153, but I actually got a voucher on it. It only cost me £3 extra from the place I bought it from. It was actually John Lewis. But apart from that, though, I'm really happy with it. And apart from that, it makes a nice, good toffee. So yeah, don't mind if I do. Yeah, that's definitely a nice one there. But apart from that, though, guys, I think that's probably it though for this video. Apart from me drinking coffee, and of course, Lindor's. But you know, apart from just little things like that, though, it's a great little machine and the rest of it. So yeah. Either way, guys, I'm going to end this off with just, you know, drinking coffee and having a nice time. So yeah, apart from that, guys, thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. If you've got any questions, then please comment down below. I'll try my best to answer them the best I can. Oh shit! Don't do like I did, because that's stupid when you just run it through by accident. Either way, thanks for watching. P.S. For the people that were wondering what happened to the water, especially as it splashed out when I, you know, accidentally pressed that button and it started spraying water all over the place into the drip tray. Luckily it's just emptyable, but for the people who are wondering, thinking because I let it drop down to the pot, don't worry, it just goes into the container where all the pods go. And also, if I tip it all the way down so I can show without putting it, if I separate these apart, all the water goes in a big drip tray underneath, and then when you're finished, you just slot that back in when you're finished. So for the people thinking I completely wrecked my coffee machine, I didn't. It's got a safety thing like that. So yeah, just to let the people know thinking they all had a bit concerned when they saw that. And also another bit to add to this as well is I can tell here is a difference from a genuine espresso capsule versus a third-party capsule. Now you can tell the difference. Now this is just from Aldi themselves, and this is a genuine Nespresso one. Now third-party ones might be different, but this is how you can tell when people may rebrand or sell fakes of what Nespresso ones are versus. Now they may shape it off just right so you can actually not tell the difference, but this is what a genuine one looks like. Now the colours are different, but you can tell the difference from when, you know, the pattern of the edges versus the third party one. It has a flat base, so it looks like this, and you can definitely tell the difference. So yeah, that was just a quick video. That was just a quick thing to tell the difference from pods and what the difference are, as the genuine ones are made of aluminium foil type and the fake ones are made out of plastic, so that's also one of the differences.